Burnout is a very real problem, with an estimated 33% of college students not seeing their college degree to completion. We only have 24 hours in a day, and 8 of those hours are spent sleeping. Add another 40 hours working and 5 hours commuting per week. This only leaves us with 67 usable hours of the original 168 we started with. That's over 100 hours a week used up, and that doesn't even account for taking care of our household needs. With all this time taken up, how do we ever find time for ourselves? Most weeks my plate is full, and I often struggle to find a healthy balance in this smorgasbord we call life. With the demands of work and family life, I often find myself playing catch up on my schoolwork, which leaves me with very little downtime to take care of my own needs. Let's take a minute to reflect on a time in our lives when we too were feeling overwhelmed. How can we find balance at home? Finding balance at home doesn't just include clocking out and leaving work. Last week I was caught up on my assignments and had some downtime, so I decided to play video games for an hour or two before going to bed. And so I played. Until 5 in the morning. Sometimes it's necessary to unplug the phone to distance yourself from outside distractions. In a previous video, I built a cutoff switch for my landline. When my neighbors see my car, it indicates to them that I'm home and that I'm available to give them a ride, even when I'm in the middle of writing. I had this one situation just before Christmas where I was getting ready for work, and I had a neighbor that needed a ride to do her Christmas shopping right at that moment, and no was not going to be an answer. She was going to be real quick. So I waited until 20 minutes before I had to be to work and left her to find her own way home. The message sunk in. Now she makes an appointment with me if she knows she's going to need a ride somewhere. Managing our debts can be overwhelming at times. The average credit card debt in America is just shy of $7,000 per person, with a staggering overall total that exceeds the $1 trillion threshold. My personal contribution to this total is just shy of $1,000. The key here is to set aside more time to cook at home instead of opting to eat out. If we haven't already entered into a depression, we're certainly heading there fast. Every dollar counts these days. Aside from saving money, cooking at home can also help reduce the number of calories we take in. I watched a video a few years ago comparing an American McDonald's to a German McDonald's. The major takeaway was the portion sizes. Apparently, an American Happy Meal is the equivalent of a large meal in Germany. Sometimes it can be necessary to cut back at work. It came to a point at work where I was falling behind on my needs at home. I had to reduce my hours at work so that I could recapture some of that time to focus on my other responsibilities. Fortunately, I am able to supplement my income in other ways, so that reduced hours doesn't necessarily have to mean a reduction in pay. Which brings us back to where we started, finding time for recreation at home. There's an old proverb that dates back to the 17th century. All work and no play makes Jack a dull boy. If we fail to find the time to pursue our interests outside of school and work, it may lead to yet another 5 a.m. video game binge. We talked about finding balance at home and work, as well as taking care of our personal needs. It can be difficult to find a healthy balance in the fast-paced world in which we live. Energy drinks have gained a reputation for being unhealthy since we've started using them. But perhaps it's our fast-paced lifestyles that led to our adopting them in the first place that's truly unhealthy. We are fast approaching the end of yet another semester. As it comes to a close, I'd like you to find the time for a leisure activity. Go out bowling. Stay in or binge watch Netflix. Whatever your choice, let it be with your personal well-being in mind. As for myself, I'm planning on getting back into a workout routine that I've been neglecting for the last few weeks. Take care. And try not to stand too close to the fire.